بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is our program Spirit of Values, and we'll discuss today also the effectiveness of meetings. How can we make the meetings more effective? We started the last episode by introducing some of the problems that may affect the effectiveness of meetings. So let's start now with other problems that may affect the meetings and reaching to the objectives. One issue is, how can we get the people engaged in discussions, share actively, be more proactive in meetings? So we should have some sort of advanced assignments. Give assignments in the agenda that those people should make so and so before coming to the meeting. Consideration of motives of those present. Sometimes people need motivation for attending the meeting, to be engaged, have something interesting and important on the agenda. It's very important to choose the most interesting issue and put always on the agenda items that have some sort of entrance to people. Sometimes, for example, financial incentives. This will help most people to come. Financial incentives, we should go for and see what are the incentives that we would take. And these should be generated by the email. So the dilemma sometimes, weak traditions of representation. Strategies also, be clear. Keep restating representation roles, expectations of reporting to the consequences and to the constituents. Actively inquire how they are reporting back and forth to their constituencies. It's a must to have some sort of equal, excellent representation. Now, another dilemma that may affect negatively the meeting is defensive participation. People come to prevent bad things rather than to advance with the agenda. In such a case, begin key discussion with a few moments of silence so everyone can collect their thoughts to share effectively. Explicitly pull different people into the conversation. Make each one to participate. Charge people with coming to the meeting with some ideas to kick off the discussion. Explicitly invite people to think on both sides of any contradiction that we may have. Now, let's get to the roles of members in the meeting. The most important is the chair, who will lead the meeting. The chair responsibility, and usually we discuss what we call the RASI matrix. We mentioned the RASI matrix. In meeting, it's very important to define the RASI matrix. The RASI matrix, for each team member in the meeting, roles and responsibilities should be clear. And this to be set by the team leader, who is the chair. But also, authorities should be defined. Then when we proceed in discussion, C is whom to consult in decision. So there is always a reference for decision, which is whom to consult. For the implementation, whom to inform for implementation. So a good leader will always start by defining the RASI matrix. Appoint a secretary to take the minutes, and always we have what we call minutes of meetings. Someone who is excellent in writing, who can use shorthand principles, then transfer this back into a long minutes of meetings. Conduct and control the meeting is to be done by the chair of meeting. Watch the timing, or assign someone to watch that. We mentioned that for each time, for each topic, it should have time allocation. Keep an eye on the timing to make sure we are proceeding in our agenda. Ensure that all have an equal opportunity to speak. This is democracy in meetings, so the chair must ensure this. Also, educate when and as necessary if we need this. Effect compromise on occasion. This is the role of the chair, who is the leader. Close each item for ensuring the action. So item 1, we agreed on so and so, ensure action By whom? By when? Again, the RASI matrix should be clear. Check that the minutes are produced accurately and in timely manner. So this is the importance of the role of the chair. Members in general. People often react to other people, not to their ideas. This is a real problem. Sometimes someone have some sort of personal issues with another member. So in such a case, he will not listen to his or her point of view, rather than he is opposing the opinion because of his or her reaction to the one who is speaking. This is another problem that always happens. So the chair here must stress that we are here as one team to reach a decision based on the discussion that we are lead, in order not to let personal issues affect the meeting in general. Self-perception. Some see themselves as the elder statesman, or man or woman, the joker, or the voice of reason. So usually you will find those. The initiator suggests new different ideas. Very social one in the meeting is the initiator. The opinion giver states pertinent beliefs about the discussion. Those usually are expert people who they think that they should offer and give opinion. Elaborator builds on suggestions made by others and they elaborate more. So we have lots of people in the meeting, and the group dynamic is arranged by the chair. There is also the members that support the meeting in what we call the maintenance roles. There is the tension reliever guy in the meeting. Those who use humor or calls for a break at appropriate moments. So usually those people will help to support and maintain the progress by what we call tension relievers. There are also people who are called the compromisers, willing to yield when necessary for progress. Hey guys, we are late, we should proceed, let's go, let's discuss. So the compromiser. We have the clarifier, offers rationals, problems for meaning, restate problems. So we understand from this, those will play the role of clarifying for all others what is needed. There is a guy who is called the tester, raises questions about to test if the group is ready to come to a decision. Always, hey, let's go for discussion, and these are the testers. There is a role called the summarizers, tries to put all discussion together, reviews progress so far, and make a summary, and we proceed. Harmonizer. This mediates differences of opinion. So if we have some sort of different opinions, we start to make a harmony to reach a conclusion accepted by all. The encourager praises, supports others in their contribution. Well, excellent note from our colleague. Let's go. These are the encouragers. The gatekeeper keeps communication open. So when they feel that there is no participation, they create the gate to be open to keep communication going on. So these are members also to support. Disruptive members. However, there are members in the meeting who are disruptive. These are group blocking roles. They always make some sort of trouble. The aggressor. The aggressor deflates the status of others. Disagree, criticizing, sometimes criticizing for criticizing, not criticizing for a purpose. The blocker. Stubborn, disagree, cites unrelated material, and always return to previous topic. They are blocking the progress. We will find all of these. The withdrawer will not participate. Private conversation. He or she is not interested. They are withdrawer, interested in another issue rather than the meeting. Recognition seekers. They want to be recognized. So sometimes they talk excessively than others. The idea is to show off for recognition. The topic jumper continually changes the subject. So let's go for the next subject. Let's go for the third subject. Those are called topic jumper. The dominators who try to take over and always assert authority and manipulating the whole group. They dominate the time, do not allow others to participate. The special pleader draws attention to own concerns. So how can I do this from my position? and we have the playboy or the playgirl shows off, tells funny story, and these are always trying to make harmony and make fun issues in the meeting to let things go. The self-confessor talks irrelevant of other feelings or insights. From their inside, the self is high, and the devil's advocate, more devil than advocate. Those are always criticizing. We call them sometimes monitors, evaluators, perfectionists, looking for issues that will prevent issues to go. So we have such groups in meetings. Those are called group blocking roles, disruptive members. Member stereotypes. Stereotypes you may expect to find in any group. The chatterbox. The chatterbox is someone who talks continually, rarely on the topic, has little to contribute, but they need to show some sort of participation. The sleeper, uninterested in the proceedings of the meeting, and some can sleep with even open eyes. Those are the sleepers, not interested at all in the meeting. This is another stereotype that we find. Destroyer, crushes any and every idea and can always find something wrong. Even if the idea is perfect and excellent, the destroyer, no, but this will affect negatively by so and so. So we'll find the destroyer. And the rationalist makes worthwhile contributions. Ideas are well thought out. Rationalist. Trappers waits for opportunate moment to show error has been made. As if they are just editing, they are trying to keep likes to trap the chair instead of the leader. Know-all. Some members are as if they are the wise guys, tries to monopolize, but can have good ideas. So sometimes we listen to the know-all because sometimes they may present some good ideas for the meeting. The thinker, shy, don't participate a lot, slow to make forward, but they are a great asset if the leaders can motivate them to speak. Thinkers always prefer to think. They don't prefer to speak in front of others. So we have all these stereotypes in our meetings, so always check your role. Are you a sleeper or rationalist or know-all? Check yourself. Try to be effective in the meeting by knowing your stereotype. How to deal with disruptive members, that their idea is to make no progress for the meeting. Make sure that all meeting participants understand the RASI. Again, their responsibilities should be clear from the beginning of the meeting. All members were invited to the meeting for a reason and should feel free to contribute. Also, members who are silent. How can we make people who are shy to speak? Begin meetings by engaging every member. So, Bill, Susan, Muhammad, haven't you done this in your work? Try to check with them, ask them questions, ask for their experience. Consider breaking large groups into smaller ones. Those people may go and be active members. Members who are vocally dominant. By being dominant, you need to control, they need to control everything dominating the discussion. In such a case, a good chair will redirect discussion to other members. Okay, we listen to your point of view, let's share the other point of view. Redirect discussion from such members. Don't give them lots of eye contact because they will continue in governing the situation. So sometimes we all recognize your experience in this area, but let's hear from another one. Members who are negative. Negative because sometimes they have a negative character. They have lots of negative emotions and they are in the meeting. Probe the negativity to validate concerns. Sometimes they have some concerns. Yes, if the negativity has a reason, a good chair will try to resolve it. Redirect discussion to other members. If behavior persists, consider speaking offline or excluding them from future meetings because they are very negative and they will affect negatively the meeting. If we have lots of interruptions in a meeting, how to handle this? Identify feelings. You are really excited about this, but let's move, because sometimes we have some sort of interruptions. People start every two together to discuss an item not related, or maybe giving more concern for an item. In such a case, you are really excited about this, but let's proceed and move along. Parking lot. Park all issues raised and address them after. Sometimes we reach an area where we don't proceed. It's a parking lot. Everything stops. Try to raise and address them and move forward. Redirect comments. Redirect comments. I'd like to discuss this further with you at the break, because sometimes people may dominate, so sometimes we make redirect the comment. Well, we will keep this for next meeting, or in the break I will discuss this with you. Close down discussion not pertaining to the subject at this time. So close down discussion, sometimes we need to close the discussions when we feel we are not going in the right direction. So what are the leader's duties for effective meetings? Control every issue, draw out the silence, protect the weak people, encourage the clash of ideas to get the best idea, watch out the suggestions, and come to the most senior people last to allow all employees in different positions to share. But the vice managers, keep them to the last. These are the senior people. Close on a note of achievement and always encourage people, motivate them, thank them. So what can I do as a leader? Use your best smile, assertive skills. Usually we have three types of leaders in such a case. We have the passive leader, and the passive leader is very passive in communication. Just discussion the agenda and proceeding. We have the aggressive leaders. They want to proceed without listening to emotions, and we have the assertive leaders. We need our leaders to be assertive, and sometimes use assertive skills. Assertive skills mean listen, motivate others. Sometimes we have leaders without a plan. If you have a leader without a plan, try an offer to develop the meeting agenda. Don't go without a plan in mind. Why not let me put together an agenda so you can concentrate on content? This is a logic to discuss. Leaders who let things get off track. In such a case, as a member, ask how the discussion relates to the agenda. So raise your hand. We were talking about, I'm not sure if I can see why the connection, why we moved. So we can have lots of roles. Members, if they play their role effectively, our meetings will reach a result and we will run an effective meeting. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.